Hi viewers, this is the sixth video in C++ programming series. So we are explaining object-oriented concepts in C++. So we discussed on how to create class, how to create object, and how to create a method, how to call the method, how to deal with method overloading, all these things we discussed. So in this particular video, we're going to discuss on constructor overloading. So constructor mean by what? Whenever you are creating class in the same name, whatever the class name, if we create that will be called as constructor. So we can able to pass parameters for the constructor, and we can able to call the constructor by creating object for the class. Okay, so no need to call the constructor by using the object. When we are creating object for the class, the constructor will be called automatically. Okay, so that is the beauty of constructor. So let's get into the video and just learn about how to do constructor overloading. Okay, so let's see. Here we are just creating the header files, hash include iostream.h. So we are just entering the first header file, that is iostream.h, that supports the input and output functions in C++ programs such as cin and cout. So second one, we are including conavo.h, that supports the clear screen and getch functions in C++ program. So clear screen mean by clearing the previous outputs in the output screen, and getch mean by whenever the output screen appears, until entering any key, it will not go for the program mode. So it will just display the output screen until pressing any key. So now I'm creating the class. So I'm just giving class as a keyword. My class name is cons. So that is my class name. So inside the class, I have to give the access specifier, that is to be public access specifier I'm giving, so that whatever the variables or methods or constructors you are creating inside that, it will be accessible anywhere outside of the class. So here I am just giving the first constructor. I am creating the first constructor. The constructor name should be same name as class name. My class name is cons, so that I am just giving the constructor name as cons. So here I am just using two parameters for my first constructor. I am just giving int a and int b. So these are the two parameters for the first constructor. So next to that, I am just doing sum of those two parameters. So the sum is, so I am just giving the sum is what I going to display here. I just doing sum of two numbers. So after that, it has to come to new line now after printing this. So I am giving slash n. So slash n is used to, that is to be escape sequence, so it will come to the new line after printing that particular statement. So the sum is should be given in double quotes because that will be displayed as output. So that what I done with the sum of two numbers in the cout statement. I am closing the first constructor. So I am starting with the second constructor. So my second constructor will be cons. So second constructor, I am passing two parameters. So what are the two parameters I am passing? I am passing two floating point values. So float, I am just using different parameters, d, float e, and float f. So these are the three parameters I am using for the second constructor. Inside the second constructor, I am just giving cout statement. So I want to do the product of these three floating point values. So I'm just giving the mul_is. So this is the multiplication operation I'm going to do for these three floating point values. So here I'm just giving d asterisk e asterisk f. So I done with my second constructor coding part. So I'm giving slash n, so that whatever statement I am giving, that will be displayed as output. So next to that, we are just having the third constructor. So I am creating the third constructor. The third constructor having characters. So char x comma char y. So these are the two characters we are passing as parameter. So here we are just having cout. So what I am going to do here, I just display the characters what I am getting as parameters. So two characters I am getting as an input, those two characters I am displaying as output. So that what I am done with all the three constructor creations, and all the three constructor having different parameters. The first constructor having two integer parameters, second constructor having three floating point parameter, and the third constructor having two character parameters. Now I'm closing the class by semicolon, and then I'm creating the void main function. So main function, what I have to do, so in the main function I have to call the constructors. No, so how I will do the calling of constructors? The calling of constructor will be done whenever you are creating object for the class. So the class name is cons. So cons space obj. So I have to call the first constructor. The first constructor having two integer parameters, so that I am passing 5 comma 4. So whenever you are creating object for the class, next to that object you have to give open parenthesis and you have to give the values, so that whenever you are creating object for the class, the constructor will be invoked automatically, and it will pass the parameters, what it will pass the values what you are giving here while creating object for the particular class. So I have to call the second constructor having three floating point values. So I'm just giving cons space obj. So here I'm just giving 5.6 comma 7.8 comma 9.2. So these are the three parameters I am passing for the second constructor. For third constructor, what I am doing, I am just giving obj of the third constructor having two character values, so that I have to give in single quotes. So I'm just giving single quotes a comma, I'm just passing b in single quotes. So I done with calling of constructors. I'm just giving ch, so that it will just be in the program mode, output mode, until pressing any key. So here clr I have to give, so it will clear the previous outputs. So it will display only the current output. So I done with the program. So I created the class with the public access specifier. I created three different constructors with different parameters. I created the main function with by passing different values for calling each and every constructors. So I done with the program now. Now we have to save the program by clicking on file. So file save as I have to give. So I'm just giving cons 2. So this is my file name, and cpp I am giving as extension, so that the file is saved. Now I going to compile the program. So I am compiling the program. The program got compiled, and here we are just having same object name, so it has to be modified. So object name here I have to give 1, and here I have to use object name as 2. So we have to use different object names. You should not use the same object name. So here next to that, I'm trying the compile again. I don't have any errors, and I going to run the code. So while running the code, I have to get three different outputs. One is addition, another one is multiplication of values, and the third one is two different characters. So I hope you understand. The sum value is 9 and the multiplication value is 401.855988. That is the output for the second constructor. Third constructor just displays the values what we are passing as a value from the main function. We passed a and b characters, that it displays as output here. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, support, and share with your friends. Thank you very much.